Welcome to a cloud-covered Fenway Park, but we're precipitation-free as we get ready to play a day-night doubleheader from Fenway. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox going with Jake Peavy in Game 1 of this day-night doubleheader. And, Jerry, so far this season, a very good start to the year for Jake Peavy.
He really has pitched extremely well down for the Red Sox, and especially his last time out against the Toronto Blue Jays. In that ball game, 7 innings pitched, only 5 hits allowed. He had 1 run allowed. He kind of leaked the ball out of the plate. That was hit for a home run. 7 strikeouts in the ball game, and a total of 113 pitches. 74 strikes on the game for him. And when you look at today, he was supposed to pitch tonight's game. But what they like to have is a guy, Peavy, who can go deep in the game in Game 1 and not use a lot of the bullpen. Now, the way Felix Dubron has gone recently, he's been kind of in and out. So they weren't sure about if they could give him a quality innings in that Game 1 and have to go through the bullpen. So that's why they go to Peavy in Game 1. He's pitching better right now. He may get deeper in the game. Save that bullpen for Game 2.
Cesar Ramos is on the mound today for the Rays in Game 1 as the Red Sox and the Rays will play 2. And Shane Victorino looking to keep it going after a big Tuesday night that saw him go 4 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. He's in the lineup. First game is coming your way next. You wouldn't know it looking out there right now, cloud covered and a real haze around the ballpark, but no rain here at the moment as we get ready for Game 1 of the doubleheader. Let's send it down to Gary Streisky.
Well, guys, the April showers are supposed to bring with it the May flowers and some more showers, and hopefully with that a new slate for the Red Sox to work off of as they leave behind an April that saw them finish quite literally in the middle of the pack. The only proof you need is just taking a look in left field at the Green Monster. 13-14 as they close out the first month of the season, but as Will Middlebrooks explains in our Geico quote of the day, plenty of baseball left to be played.
You learn a lot about each other. You learn a lot how to play with each other. And, we had a lot of help, honestly, from the other teams in the division. No one really did, great. So, New York jumped out to a decent lead, but, it was 2.5 games, 3 games. That's not a lot. I mean, that can change in 2-3 days. So, we're not too worried about it. It was a small sample size. We had a long year left ahead of us.
Well, April is indeed gone, and the Red Sox are at 13-14 on the year heading into this day-night doubleheader. They are 2.5 games back of the Yankees to start the day, while the Tampa Bay Rays are 4.5 games back. They're 11-16 as they come in to play this day-night doubleheader. And the Red Sox, after taking the first game of the series, Boston with their 13th victory, and today trying to get back to the 500 mark and over it. The opportunity to do that with a day-night doubleheader from Fenway.
I certainly agree with everything that Middlebrook said, considering the fact that everything that went on with this ball club through the month of April, they're in pretty good shape being 2.5 games behind the Yankees. As he said, nobody has been able to run away from the pack. The Yankees more than anybody else. Now they've had their share of injuries, so a good opportunity as May begins, and begins with a day-night doubleheader for the Red Sox to really make a move. They've got their lineup back intact. Everything's all working on the same page right now, and it's time to do some business.
Well, the Red Sox take the field, and as they do, let's check out the visiting Tampa Bay Rays starting 9 for Game 1. Ben Zobrist leads it off at second base with Desmond Jennings in center field. Matt Joyce in left field bats third with Evan Longoria at third base. James Loney at first base with Will Myers out in right field batting sixth. David DeJesus, who's been DHing, does so again today. Yunel Escobar bats eighth at shortstop with Benji Molina, or rather Jose Molina, doing the catching. One of the Molina brothers here for the Rays. Now, tonight's Red Sox starting pitcher is presented by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. And Jake Peavy getting the start, his 6th start of the year, 1-0 with a 2.87 earned run average, 32 strikeouts to 16 walks, and opponents hitting at just .229 against Peavy here at Fenway Park in 7 starts now, 3-0 with a 3.50 earned run average.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 11th in the league, 21 errors in 27 games. Will Middlebrooks will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second, and Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Johnny Gomes, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Shane Victorino. And David Ross doing the catching in Game 1 for Jake Peavy.
Well, the umpiring crew, C.B. Bucknor behind the dish calling the balls and strikes with Toby Bassner at first base. Crew chief is Dale Scott, and the third base umpire Dan Iasanya. This game is available in Spanish. The SAP function is brought to you by the new Captain Morgan White Rum.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Well, the conditions here today, 55 degrees as we get it started at Fenway Park. Breeze out to right at 7 miles per hour. And there is a chance of precipitation in the forecast as we start precipitation free from Fenway Park. Red Sox in their red jerseys, while the Rays in their alternate blues. First pitch of the ball game is in the air to center field, struck pretty well. Jackie Bradley Jr. going back though, he's got room and makes the catch on the edge of the track. So Zobrist jumping on that first pitch is out number 1.
That last game that Peavy pitched up in Toronto, he had a terrific fastball, a great moving fastball that would move away from left-handers into right-handers. Had the good changeup and also the slider. Had everything working for him in that game against the Blue Jays.
One down for Desmond Jennings. Jennings shows bunt and takes the strike as he pulls it back. Grab the attention of Will Middlebrooks charging from third base. Will still at the lip of the grass down there at third. Look out. Jennings twists out of the box on a fastball up and in.
It's one of those fastballs that Peavy runs inside, and it continues to run, and that time almost clipped Jennings.
Peavy 3-1 in his career against the Rays, a 4.91 earned run average. His highest earned run average against an AL East opponent. Swinging a foul tip for strike 2.
Rearing back with the fastball and throwing it by Jennings this time to quickly get ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Matt Joyce waiting on deck with 1 out here in the first inning. And that is just off the outside edge.
He'd be trying to go away again, but misses the outside corner this time.
Upset with themselves, kind of yanked that one outside. Full count. Last time he faced the Rays, didn't factor into the decision. It was in September of last year at the Trop. Gave up 3 runs and 5 walks in that outing against the Rays. This is down to third quickly, but nicely picked by Middlebrooks. Throws across for out number 2.
Nice defensive play by Will Middlebrooks down at third base. That ball hit very hard by Jennings, and Middlebrooks, as you can see, just time for a little stutter step. That's it. and then the catch and throw to first base to get the out by plenty. That's how hard the ball was hit.
2 down here in the top of the first inning for Matt Joyce. 328 average on the year so far for Joyce. 2 homers and 15 runs batted in. He's been batting out of the 3 spot every day for the Rays. Ranked second in the American League in on-base percentage at .438. As he takes the rising fastball for strike 1. Red Sox here with a pole defense on the right side of the infield.
And Peavy shaking his head. He wanted that pitch. It was a slider that didn't miss very much on the inside part of the plate.
Two and one here to Joyce with Evan Longoria waiting on deck. See the numbers against right-handers for Joyce so far in the year. That grabs the inside corner. You get the arms out of the way, and it's 2-2.
Now with 2 strikes, Middlebrooks can move deeper at third base. No threat of a bunt by Joyce.
Now Matt Joyce, 29 years of age, beginning his 7th season in the majors. Overall career hitter .264, but he's jumped out to this .328 start. As Longoria waits on deck. On the ground, a lot of spin on it. Middlebrooks coming from third. His throw sidearmed and in time. Peavy enjoys a 1-2-3 first inning. The Red Sox are coming up.
Before I hurt my arm.
We head to the bottom of the first inning. A little bit of a tutelage here as to how to throw pitches. You just got a four-seamer going there, and he's all over the place. There's the four-seamer.
Yeah.
Goes through it all right there. You can throw any pitch by the end of this. There's a change.
Yeah, the education of baseball right there.
Now Dustin Pedroia leading it off here in the bottom of the first inning. On the mound, Cesar Ramos on the mound today for the Rays. His 4th appearance, 1-1 with a 3.38 earned run average. Goes from the pen into the rotation with all the injuries to the Rays rotation. Ramos can go up to 100 pitches, Joe Madden saying, for the game today, so no real restrictions on him.
Yeah, last 2 times out, 5 innings each, once against the Yankees and once last time out against Chicago, where he picked up a win. His only win of the season.
29-year-old lefty, a 6-year veteran. Filling the void here of the loss of left-hander Matt Moore, as this is just foul. Right down the line, off the bat of Pedroia, and a foul ball.
Pedroia, that hard line drive, but hooking in foul territory down the third base line. And Ayasango making the call.
Pedroia starting the day hitting at .270 so far in the season. And he fouls it back, still 1-2. Reached base safely in 11 straight games, a season high for him. .415 on base percentage during that stretch. And Shane Victorino waits on deck here in the Boston first inning. And of course today, Dustin Pedroia bobblehead day. Fully outstretched for that grounder.
That's the perfect bobblehead, diving for a ground ball. That's what he does all the time.
Two is popped up, foul ground. The pitcher Ramos racing to the seats, but that is back into the crowd. Molina really didn't worry about it. He looked to his left, and Ramos was worried about it, though. The pitcher was going to make the play on his own if he could.
Yeah, Jose Molina had no interest in that pop-up, but certainly Ramos did. Watch Molina from behind the plate. I mean, he reads that it's going to be out of play, so he doesn't really bother too much. But Ramos not convinced. Why waste the energy, right?
Right.
It's a long day. We've got a long day coming up.
If you're Ramos, though, you may dive into the seats to get that out if you need it. Pedroia fouls off another right out of play. This at bat will see an 8th pitch. Foul back, will do it again.
Good first at bat here of the ball game for Dustin Pedroia. 8 pitches he's seen so far as a leadoff man.
Inside for ball 3. Full count now. Ramos was in the competition for the rotation in spring training, along with Jake Odorizzi and Eric Bedard for that 5th spot in the rotation. Odorizzi and Ramos returned to the pen, and Bedard started the year AAA, but of course we saw Bedard pitch in game 1 of this series. And went 5 innings. Payoff pitch. And the 10th of the at-bat is a walk, and that was quite an at-bat for Dustin Pedroia. Let's check out the rest of the Red Sox starting 9 today. We just saw Dustin Pedroia. He's at second base. Shane Victorino in right field with David Ortiz, the DH. Mike Napoli at first base with Johnny Gomes in left field. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop at 6 with Will Middlebrooks at third base. David Ross does the catching in game 1, and Jackie Bradley Jr. center field bats 9th. So Pedroia in a 10-pitch at bat works a walk to begin this bottom of the first inning. There's Shane Victorino. Down and in for ball 1. And is headed out here to talk to Ramos. Well, today's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Well, the Red Sox offense, which has been working well, 7+ runs scored this season. First 23 games, only 1. The last 4 games, though, 3 times. And they have the regular lineup back together, and that's part of the reason, and Shane Victorino part of that. Victorino having a big night on Tuesday in the first game of the series. 4-hit game, going 4 for 4 with a double and a couple of RBIs as he takes strike one. Well, Shane missed the first 22 games of the year. Was activated from the DL on April the 24th, and so far hitting at .316. Inside for ball 2. Gap out there in left center field, although Joyce is moved over towards left center, the left fielder. And plenty of room on the right side of the infield here for Victorino. This one will get away for Molina. And up to second base goes Pedroia. He rounds second base, but he'll hold there. As that one got by Molina, Pedroia takes second base.
Yeah, Molina had no idea where the baseball was, and Dustin Pedroia almost took advantage of that. See how long it takes Molina to find it. And once he does, and Pedroia picks that up, that's when he holds up at second base. So the Red Sox very quickly have a man in scoring position with nobody out in the inning.
Wild pitch charge to Ramos as Pedroia in scoring position, nobody out. In there for a strike, full count. Victorino, of course, getting his 4th Gold Glove award last year. Member of the Red Sox in right field. First time it's been in the American League. Previous times as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. In there for strike 3. Victorino thought he had ball 4, but he gets some bad news from C.B. Bucknor.
Back-to-back fastballs from Ramos to get Victorino. This ball is going to be at the top of the strike zone, as you can see. The 5th and 6th pitch, both almost in the same spot. Victorino trying to draw the call from the umpire, but C.B. Buckner will have none of it.
1 on, 1 out for David Ortiz. .250 with 5 homers and 14 runs batted in. A little bit high for ball 1. Rays have Ben Zobrist stuck back into right field, but they leave the shortstop Escobar left side of the infield. Joe Maddon has had many variations over the years as to how to deal with David Ortiz, especially. As David slices it foul, and it's 1-1. Well, sports can bring you to the edge of your seat and to your feet. It should always bring you to NESN.com, the region's #1 sports site, with comprehensive Red Sox coverage and the most Bruins content in New England. Get live blogs, video, and podcasts found only at NESN.com. 1 out, Dustin Pedroia at second base. Ortiz waiting on a 1-1 pitch. David will foul that back.
David 1 for 8 in his career off Ramos. That position where Yunel Escobar is right now, right behind Pedroia, makes it awfully tough for Pedroia to get a big lead at second base, because you can see very quickly how Escobar could get to second base on a pickoff attempt.
Well, David getting his 5th home run of the season on Friday night at Toronto. Home run was the 436th of his career, leaving him in 42nd place on the all-time home run list, too shy of Andre Dawson and Jason Giambi for 40th place all-time. Swing and a miss, and Ortiz strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Ramos. 2 down.
And Ramos going with a slider up and out of the strike zone, and Ortiz can't stay off it. You see a high breaking ball like that, and your tendency is, yes, you want to swing, but that ball too high. And David trying to hold up right in the middle of the swing, but too late.
Two down, and Mike Napoli, the batter. 305 with 5 home runs and 15 runs batted in. Swinging a foul tip for strike 1. No shift on here for Mike Napoli. Some teams have stacked it up on the left side. Joe Madden not choosing to, although Ben Zobrist over towards the bag at second. Napoli jumping back out of the way of a fastball inside.
You know, they did the same thing with David Ortiz as the plate, and you wonder if because it's a man in scoring position, they don't want to give up too much area out there.
Bouncing in and blocked by Molina. No advance for Pedroia at second base.
Nice block by Molina. Jose Molina behind the plate. Ball directly down into dirt. Tries to backhand it, but is able to knock it down and keep Pedroia at second base.
Johnny Gomes on deck. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Well, bounce in, and again, it's got to be blocked by Molina, and is. So Napoli in a good hitter's count here. 3-1. Runner in scoring position at second base.
And Ramos being very, very careful here with Mike Napoli at the plate. First base open. 2-1 breaking ball that bounces.
Outside for ball 4. Napoli will head down to first base. Second walk of the inning given up by Ramos.
Let's take a look at the Tampa Bay defense. They are playing very well. 3rd in the league with 12 errors on the season. Evan Longoria at third base. Yunel Escobar the shortstop. Ben Zobrist at second, and James Loney the first baseman. Left to right, Matt Joyce, Desmond Jennings, and Will Myers. Jose Molina doing the catching for Ramos.
2 down as Johnny Gomes is coming up here. Gomes hitting at .230 so far in the season. 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. Batting with 2 on and 2 outs. Gomes has now started 8 of the last 10 Red Sox games. And lines one into center field for a base hit. Pedroia being waved around. The throw from center is going to be cut off. And gets away, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. A 2-out RBI single for Johnny Gomes.
Well, you could see clearly they were working around Mike Napoli, even though it's early in the ball game with first base open. And Gomes, he doesn't waste any time. He gets the first pitch fastball and shoots it right up the middle for the base hit. Pedroia is able to score easily. The cutoff is dropped right here by Loney, and that's going to allow Johnny Gomes to go into second base and also get in the scoring position.
They charged Loney with an error. So second and third with 2 outs, a run in. 6-game hitting streak now for Gomes as Xander Bogaerts bats. Bogart's at 278 with a home run, 5 runs batted in. He's reached base safely in 22 of 25 games so far this year. Two and 0. A lot of first inning pitches here for Cesar Ramos right out of the gate as Jim Hickey looks on. Ramos backs off. Three and 0. Among rookies, Hervis Solarte on top of the Yankees. We saw him, the third baseman for New York, for the most part when playing against the Red Sox at 303. But then Xander Bogaerts at 278. So Jose Abreu with the White Sox off to a terrific start. And Jackie Bradley in the top 5 as well. Ball 4, and that is the third walk of this first inning for Ramos. Jim Hickey coming out, bases now loaded. I want to remind you to bring out the family to the ballpark for one of our Sox Savers games this season. Select May dates provide the lowest prices of the season, with tickets starting at just $10. To get your Sox Saver game tickets, visit www.redsox.com/tickets.
Previous to this game, the high for walks for Ramos had been 3. He did that against the Cincinnati Reds. Already 3 here in the first inning against the Red Sox.
He's already thrown 30 first inning pitches here with 2 outs, bases loaded, and right now it is still a 1-run game. Red Sox with a chance to get a few more here with Will Middlebrooks coming up next. First at bat today for Will, hitting at 259. 2 homers and 5 runs batted in. Close, but called a ball. Middlebrooks activated from the DL on the 25th of April. Went on the DL on the 5th of April with the right calf strain. Rehab with the Paw Sox, playing in 3 games for Pawtucket. In there for a strike, 1-1. Career .353 hitter with the bases loaded. 3 grand slams to his credit. And his Napoli, Gomes, and Bogaerts on the bases for the Red Sox. 2 down in the inning. Two and 1.
Some of these pitches are missing, but not by very much. But very consistent behind the plate has been C.B. Buckner.
Middlebrooks grounds it foul. Bases filled with Red Sox. 2 down in the inning. A run already in. In the air to shallow right field. Out goes Zobrist. Myers coming in, and Myers takes charge and makes the catch. So after all that, the Red Sox get just the one run. We'll check out April's surprises when we come back. One to nothing. Red Sox have the lead over the Tampa Bay Rays as Jake Peavy back on the mound again. Jake had a 1-2-3 first inning. Now it is Evan Longoria, James Loney, and Will Myers bat here in the inning. Longoria kind of changed his mind in the middle but goes around. 286 average for the all-star third baseman for the Rays. 3 homers, 15 runs batted in. And is down 1-2.
A change up that time by Peavy. Fastball in on the previous pitch, then the changeup down and away from Longoria.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. Well, hey, Red Sox Nation, get a free medium beverage when you enroll in the Dunkin' Donuts Rewards program. DD Perks. Then just pay with your registered DD card or the DD mobile app to earn points towards more free beverages. It's Dunkin's way of rewarding their loyal fans. Enroll today at ddperks.com. Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Well, Longoria strikes out. First strikeout for Jake Peavy. One down as we check in with Gary Streisky.
Guys, the Scion TC poll today is, which is the biggest surprise in baseball through the first month of the season? Sox 1 for Brewers, having the best record in the Big. Sox 2, the Metropolitans, 4 games above 500. And Sox 3, the Rays, last in the American League East. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates, they may apply. Text help if you need it. Visit NESN.com/terms for all the legal stuff.
I'm going Brewers on that list. 20 victories so far for Milwaukee. And, of course, they came into Fenway Park and took care of business earlier this season against the Red Sox.
I'm definitely with you on that, Don. They look like a very good team when they were in here playing the Red Sox. And to no surprise, they have the record that they have right now.
James Loney fouling it off is down 0-2. Up over 300 where he was a lot of last year. He was in 350s a lot of last year.
And somebody agreed with us because they had 100%
right out of the gate.
Somebody voted once and it goes up to 100% right up there.
Loney skies one to right center field. Bradley over into right center. Little stagger, but he makes the catch. 2 down. 5 in a row retired by Jake Peavy. So 2 down here in the inning, and welcome to Katie and Anna from Stoughton, Massachusetts. As the Red Sox and Rays playing 2 today, and Juria a windows open day for the first time in a long time. I don't remember the last time we had the windows open.
I tell you, too, I got to give you and Mike Narachi credit because we both got hit with the same thing over the weekend. And you guys toughed it out on Tuesday night. I could not tough it out.
It was a rough go there for a couple of days, but we're back in business again.
Back in business. We haven't figured out yet if it was a stomach flu or food poisoning. I'm going with food poisoning.
I am too.
Yeah.
Just haven't figured out where or when exactly. We're trying to nail it down. Myers takes a pitch outside, and it's 2-0. There's a 245, 2 homers, and 11 runs batted in. On the ground to shortstop. Bogaerts will pick and throw. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Jake Peavy. A 1-0 Red Sox lead. Bottom of the second inning. Red Sox on top 1-0 as David Ross, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Dustin Pedroia to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Cesar Ramos had to throw 35 first inning pitches, but despite the fact that he walked during the inning, only gave up 1 run. And the Red Sox left him loaded as Will Middlebrooks flied out to end the inning in the first. Ross toting a 179 average with a home run, 3 runs batted in coming in. He starts the day portion of the day-night doubleheader. And a swing and a miss at the high fastball, 0-2. Captain in the dugout today. In the dirt, blocked there by Molina, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Ross did not play in the first game of the series, and over the weekend in Toronto went 0 for 3. Pops it up, foul, and out of play. Now, right now, Ace Ticket has your Boston Bruins playoff tickets to games 1 and 2 at the TD Garden against the Canadiens tomorrow night and Saturday. Visit aceticket.com or call 1-800-MY-SEATS right now to get your tickets to watch the Bruins take on the Canadiens at TD Garden. Don't miss out. Well, nice start so far for Jake Peavy, who's retired all 6 Rays that he has faced so far. Ross fouls off another to the right, and all those pitches stacked up on the outside corner so far here to Ross. Foul back again, still 1-2.
And it goes with a changeup that time, and that ball also away from David Ross. A little bit more of the plate, but Ross again extending this at bat to 6 pitches long. That's the changeup, and foul back by Ross.
Ross fouls it off the home plate umpire, C.B. Bucknor. Got a big piece of that.
That got him good, too. Looks like it got him right in the hand of the wrist. Up on the forearm, it looks like. No padding there for CB.
The catcher Molina out to the mound to give C.B. Bucknor some time. As the home plate umpire still shaking it off, or trying to. Says he's all right.
There's 3 guys that's know what it's like, right? David Ross,
yeah,
Molina, and the home plate umpire.
Swing and a miss, and Ross strikes out. 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and after a lengthy at bat, an 8-pitch at bat, becomes a 3rd strikeout victim for Cesar Ramos.
Yeah, he's got 2 on a fastball and 1 on a slider. That's the fastball by Ross. He got Victorino on a fastball, a slider to Ortiz.
One down here in the 2nd inning. Jackie Bradley Jr. 2:44 coming into today's action. Yes, he takes strike 1. Let's take a look at our Chevy key player. Jackie Bradley Jr. has 9 extra base hits in April, the most by a Red Sox rookie since Shea Hillenbrand back in 2001. In the air to left field as Matt Joyce is there, and he makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. 3 in a row now retired by Ramos. Two away for Dustin Pedroia. Able to work a walk in the 1st inning and came around to score. He got the 2nd on a wild pitch and scored on the single by Johnny Gomes back in the 1st inning. Dustin Pedroia bobblehead day here at Fenway Park. In the dirt, and it's a ball and a strike down to Pedroia. Line to left, Joyce is over, and he gets there to make the catch on a hot shot, but he was well positioned. Look at the view when we come back here to Fenway. If you're in between innings, Wally the other night was down in front. Now he is in back, and the kids are down below as it works out here at Fenway Park for the Wally Waves. He's moving all around them so far in the Wally Wave spot, but I think he likes being up top there. As we head into the third inning, as David DeJesus leads it off, Yanel Escobar, and then Jose Molina scheduled to bat against Jake Peavy. Well, drop in there for a strike. Well, C.B. Buckner got hit last inning, and Brad Pearson out there to check on the wrist here. We got hit with a forearm, a little bit higher. And on the grass at third is Middlebrooks. There's a 1-1 pitch. And this is down the right field line and towards the pole, and that ball is going to be gone. A home run right into the first row for David DeJesus. One of those Fenway Park home runs down the right field corner and around the pole for DeJesus. And this game is tied 1-1.
Yeah, it looked like that ball hit right on top of the wall, down beyond the pesky pole. A fastball middle in, and DeJesus cleans it out on the line. And yes, no question, it's a home run.
Now Escobar hit with the ball twice, but apparently still in the box when it hit him the second time.
Take a look at that ball one more time. Is it? Yes, clearly is a home run. Matter of fact, touched by a fan who's about 2 or 3 rows back.
So second home run for DeJesus, and that breaks up a string of 6 in a row retired by Peavy. There's the 0-1 to Escobar, ties him up inside. On the ground and diving at third base. Middlebrooks picks it on the backhand and throws him plenty of time to get Escobar. Nice play by Will Middlebrooks down there, and a good reaction.
That's 2 very nice plays by Middlebrooks in this game so far, down at the hot corner. This time going to his right, diving, and back up quickly to his feet. Gets himself planted, settled, and a good throw to first base. And again, plenty of time to get the out because the ball was hit so hard. So Middlebrooks picking it down at third early in the ball game.
One down for Jose Molina, batting out of the number 9 spot. Molina fouls it off down the right field line towards Canvas Alley. Oh, nice pick down there. Nice play.
Oh, very nice play. Got a drink in one hand, the phone in the other, and the baseball in the other hand. Pretty good. Pretty impressive. It was nothing. Stellar. It was nothing.
Molina reaching out and flaring one to shallow right, but Victorino was there, and he makes the catch. 2 down. Shane was positioned perfectly in right field. Well, today we get a look at the view ahead today coming from the center field concourse area there, Jerry. Looking back at the booth from center field after I went down to the truck for a production meeting today and was strolling back up towards the bleacher area. A little different vantage point there.
Yeah. What time was that production meeting anyway? I must have missed that.
8:15 this morning.
Was it really?
Yes.
Somebody could have notified me.
A little bit after 8 o'clock. The tarp was still on the field at that point. Breaking ball in there for strike 1 to Zobrist. Zobrist flied out to the warning track as he swung at the first pitch of the game back in the first inning, and now hits a fly ball to right field as Victorino makes his way in. Well, leadoff home run for David DeJesus gets the Rays on the board. This game tied 1-1. World champion Boston Red Sox. Hood Red Sox ice cream is now a winner too. Pick up Hood Champions ice cream in all of your favorite flavors today. Well, the Red Sox and Rays playing here into the bottom of the third inning. Game tied 1-1. Shane Victorino, David Ortiz, and Mike Napoli to face Cesar Ramos here in the third inning. 4 in a row retired by Ramos. Much quick and easier second inning for Ramos than the first. Had to throw 35 first inning pitches, but he get out of it, giving up just the 1 run, even though he walked 3 in that first inning. His 50th pitch of his outing coming up. And Victorino straightens up to get out of the way. On the ground, a chop to third that Longoria secures and throws out Victorino.
I didn't know this, just missing one day, but I didn't realize you were drafted by the Red Sox 14th round and came to an agreement just prior to the ball game today.
Yes, Jerry, we've agreed on a long-term deal, and I didn't want to say anything before you got here, but yes, I've agreed to play with the Red Sox after my batting practice stint earlier in spring training. Apparently, Ben Cherington's decided to sign me to a long-term deal.
Congratulations,
so
14th round. That's pretty good.
Very excited about that. I will be leaving, and I will soon see you on the field.
Okay.
Swing and a miss.
That's pretty sharp.
Very nice. The people from Majestic getting ready for Jersey Day, which I guess is tomorrow. So excited about that. I'm not actually drafted. And
are you going to wear that tomorrow for the game?
I don't think so. No, I think I'll probably go with this. Joseph Aboud has the agreement. The 0-1 is in the dirt, and the count is 1-1. David, a strikeout victim in the first inning. This time the Rays go into the shift with nobody on. Last time when David came up, Pedroia was at second base. To right center field. Jennings started back, now he's going to come in, but his speed, he's able to recover and make the grab on Ortiz. Hung up long enough for him to make that catch out there in right center. He started back, which didn't help, but he gets there in time. 2 down.
It's a tough read for a center fielder because you see the big swing from Ortiz, but then the ball was a little bit toward the end of the bat, so the adjustment had to be made by Desmond Jennings out in center field. He makes the adjustment and makes the catch.
2 down for Mike Napoli. Walked in the first inning. Ramos allowing 3 walks in the first inning and getting out of that first inning. But since then, he has now retired 6 batters in a row and has 2 outs here in the third. Extending that streak to 23 games. Jose Bautista 28 games. And Napoli with a walk in the first inning, able to extend it. There's strike 2. Coming after him a little bit more here, sort of, than they did the first time around against Napoli. Ramos kind of pitched around him in the first inning to get to Gomes, and then Gomes made him pay with an RBI single. High for ball 2, 2-2. Gomes on deck with a single in the first inning. Picked up his 9th RBI of the year. Inside for ball 3. Ball 4, and Napoli has walked again. Twice today, and now there's 4 walks allowed by Ramos. Well, have you seen our new Sunday pregame show, Nesson Clubhouse? It's where kids run the show, and we're looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience. Visit Nesson.com/clubhouse sweepstakes to enter your son or daughter's team right now.
Had a chance to watch that last night. It was on because our Red Sox game was called off, and it's an entertaining show.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, very good. Gary Streisky, the host of the show.
2 down, Napoli at first base, and Johnny Gomes has the Red Sox only hit so far today. That's a high drive to deep left center field. Joyce and Jennings going back at the wall, and it's going to be Jennings who makes the catch right in front of it to end the inning. Red Sox leave Napoli at first. Game tied 1-1. Fourth inning. Desmond Jennings, Matt Joyce, and Evan Longoria to bat in the inning. Jake Peavy has one blemish. It is the David DeJesus leadoff home run in the 3rd inning. Only hit that he has given up, only batter to reach against Jake Peavy, and it was right down that right field line. This one fouled back by Jennings, evens the count at 1-1. Last 12 games, Jennings toting a .326 average overall at .276 coming into today's game. And he takes strike 2. Peavy coming off a very good outing his last time out and his first victory of the year. 7 innings, 1 run. Struck out 7, walked 2. Full count now to Jennings. Outing last time for Peavy against Toronto. Had not had a decision to that point. But it came into today with a 2.87 earned run average. He's pitched well this season even without the decisions. This one is slowly grounded down the third base line, but it will kick foul. Sign up for Eastern Free Checking and receive a free house cleaning courtesy of Bay Pro. Free checking and a dust-free home. Another neat idea from Eastern Bank, where here, you're first. Details at easternbank.com/clean. Top half of the fourth inning here at Fenway. Game tied 1-1. Game one of the day-night doubleheader here today from the Fens. Jennings hits it in the air to left field, sending Gomes back onto the track at the wall, and it's off the wall. Gomes will play the carom, but into second base goes Jennings, standing with a leadoff double to begin the top half of the fourth inning for Tampa Bay.
And Jennings that time turns around an inside fastball from Jake Peavy. I think that ball was supposed to be away, but instead it stayed inside, and you can see Jennings lifting it. It looked like it had a chance to be a home run, but no, high off the wall and played back in by Johnny Gomes, but the stand-up double for Jennings to lead off the fourth inning.
Jennings at second base. Matt Joyce, the batter, grounded out to third base in the first inning. Left by Peavy as Jennings duck it back to the bag.
And Jennings has 4 steals on the season, has not been caught. He needs attention when he's at that second base bag. Bogart's playing behind him in the pull.
On the ground by the mound with the shift on, and Bogarts picks it up on the right side of the infield to throw out Joyce. But Jennings on to third base with now 1 out in the inning. Well, Sox fans want to remind you to enter the Red Sox World Series ring raffle for your chance to win an incredible Red Sox World Series ring prizes. The grand prizes of 2004, 2007, and 2013 Red Sox World Series ring. To purchase raffle tickets and to learn more about the second and third place prizes, go to redsox.com/ring raffle.
That's a pretty good raffle right there.
Yes, it is. Infield in all the way around, and Evan Longoria fouls it off just above the Rays dugout. Looks like everybody's all right over there. Remarkably, that was a hot shot. Moves it down the right field line this time, and this will get back into the seats out of play.
The Red Sox pulling the infield in here very early in the ball game with 1 out in the inning. And there'd been nobody out. They'd probably be playing back, but of course less of a chance for a big inning with 1 out, so they bring him in. But Napoli Pedroia really pinched together over there on the right side of the infield.
A little bit high, 1-2.
Napoli well off that line at first base, and look how close he and Pedroia are. Be tough to get the baseball between those two.
In the dirt, in the backhand goes Ross to make that catch. 2-2. Jennings led off the inning with a wall ball double, gets to third on the ground out by Joyce. There's 1-1 game here in the fourth inning. Swing and a miss. Longoria strikes out. A big K for Peavy. Second time Longoria is down by way of the K.
And second time he's got him on a slider too. There's the breaking ball with the 2-strike count. Almost the exact same location as he got him back in the second inning. So big strikeout for Peavy. Now the infielder can move back with 2 outs.
Longoria unable to get the job done, and here's James Loney. Flied out to the warning track in center field in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. He had a very slow start to the year. First 10 games hitting at 176, but since then it's hit at 373. And jumps back out of the way of a pitch down and in. Tied with the team lead in RBIs with 15 so far in the year, and trying to deliver another one right here. 2-0. Good numbers for Loney against Peavy in his career. That includes 2 home runs. (3-0) as Peavy has been very careful here with James Loney. Of course, most of those battles coming when Loney was first baseman for the Dodgers and Peavy was in San Diego with the Padres.
He may have the green light. He had 3 balls and no strikes too.
Takes ball 4 and heads on down to first base. First walk given up by Jake Peavy. Well, fans, you can test your Red Sox IQ right now with the MLB Preplay mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Compete one-on-one with other Red Sox fans for a chance to win the Preplay Triple Crown. Today's Preplay predictions: Jake Peavy will go 6 1/3, allowing 3 earned runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Jennings at third, Loney at first with 2 down. Will Myers grounded out to shortstop in the second inning. And lifts a fly ball to right field. Over goes Shane Victorino onto the dirt of the track by the stands. He'll leap and cannot make the catch. Well, that first row of seats over there, and Victorino went as far as he could.
And you just run out of territory in a hurry down that right field line. Victorino into the jump. The ball goes above his glove. And Myers gets another crack at it.
And Jake thought he might have been able to get out of the inning on that fly ball to right. On the ground, foul, and it's 0-2 now into the photographer's well beyond the Rays dugout. The Rays have the right guy up here in this situation. 2 outs, a 3.08 average so far in the season. 5 RBIs for Myers. A multi-hit game here in the first game of the series. 2 for 3 with a double and scored a couple of runs. Jackie Bradley Jr. over towards right center. Big gap out there in left center field. Jennings at third. Loney at first. 2 down. And that's outside again as Peavy has missed badly with back-to-back pitches. Ball 3, full count.
And trying to put him away with that slider, but Will Myers would not bite at it. Too far outside.
On deck for the Rays, David DeJesus, who homered in his first at bat. And first, a bit of business here between Jake Peavy and Will Myers with 2 outs, runners at first and third. Down and in, ball 4, and down to first base goes Myers. Back-to-back walks for Peavy, and the bases are now loaded for Tampa Bay. Tune in to Red Sox Friday Night Fenway, presented by Budweiser, tomorrow at 5:30. Be sure to visit the Budweiser Bash on Yawkey Way, directly behind the Nesson stage. Fans 21 and over can participate. Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Rays threatening, bases loaded. And David DeJesus, who homered down the line in right field in the 3rd inning, gets his second look here at Jake Peavy. Low and away, ball 1. The home run back in the 3rd inning just did get into the seats down the right field line, wrapped right around the pole down there. And for DeJesus, it was his second home run of the year. Maybe he's gotten a little wild here in the 4th inning, so Ross out to talk to him. It's the hardest he's had to work in any inning by far so far in his outing. Strike over the inside corner.
After the conversation with David Ross, they needed a strike, so they go to the slider to get it.
Jesus fouls it off to the left for strike 2.
A two-handed catch that time, so we've seen a couple of decent plays from the fans here in game 1.
Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to DeJesus. Bases filled with Tampa Bay Rays. 2 outs in the inning. And the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball that misses. And it's a full count now. Everybody will be off with the pitch.
Yeah, Peavy trying to go back though at the breaking ball. A slider tried to pick up the outside corner but missed outside. So everybody off now on the 3-2 count.
Jennings at third, Loney at second, Myers at first. Everybody in motion. And it is fouled off to the right, and we'll do it again. It was the 30th pitch of the inning for Jake Peavy, who's had to work hard here in the 4th inning, but so far has not relinquished a run. Career .317 hitter with the bases loaded, 2 grand slams. DeJesus fouls back another. Inning started with a double by Jennings. Joyce grounded out. Longoria struck out. A walk for Loney, a walk for Myers to load the bases with 2 away. Escobar on deck, but there are 2 outs in the inning. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And DeJesus takes ball 4, and Peavy walks in a run. From third comes Jennings. 3rd straight walk for Peavy, and the Rays take a 2-1 lead. So an RBI for DeJesus, his 2nd of the game, and Juan Nieves out to talk to the right-hander.
Yeah, that is very unusual for Jake Peavy to go 3 straight batters and walk all 3. DeJesus has put up a couple of pretty tough at-bats against Peavy so far in this game today. The home run and the long at-bat there, and finally drawing the walk and bringing in the 2nd run for Tampa Bay.
Bases reloaded, 2 down in the inning. Yunel Escobar coming up here. Escobar, the Rays shortstop, grounded out to third base, first time up, 0 for 1. Takes strike 1 to the fastball that time for Peavy. Escobar agreeing to a 2-year contract extension. First week of April, so it'll be a Ray in 2015 and 16. The club option for 2017. 70th pitch for Peavy, and it's a fly ball to center field. Bradley going back to make the catch that ends the inning. The Rays get a run to take a 2-1 lead. Bogarts, Middlebrooks, and Ross coming up. Business keeps our economy and community strong. That's why they've been named the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts 5 years in a row. Eastern Bank, here, you're first. 2-1 Tampa Bay on top of Boston as we head now to the bottom of the 4th inning. Rays have pulled ahead. Bases loaded walk. Went to David DeJesus, who scored Desmond Jennings, and it's a difference in the game as Cesar Ramos back on the mound, now the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Xander Bogaerts to lead it off here in the home half of the 4th. In there for strike 1. Bogaerts walked in the first inning, one of 3 walks given up in the first by Ramos. Framed there by Molina, but it's a ball and a strike. Bogaerts fouling it off to the right, out of play. Enjoy the rich taste of Farmhouse Blend coffee from Cumberland Farms. It's made from 100% Arabica coffee for the perfect balance of aroma, body, and taste. Stop in today for a cup of do-it-yourself coffee perfection for only 99 cents, any size. Swing and a miss, and Bogaerts is down on strikes. That's 4 strikeouts for Cesar Ramos. Sent it down to Gary.
Well, guys, so far so good as far as getting this thing underway, but the Rays were actually preferring and hoping to play this game in late September. See, the Rays and the Red Sox both have an off day, Monday, September 20th, a day before they start a 3-game set right back here at Fenway. In fact, Ben Zobrist, the player representative for the union, was actually on the phone with the union trying to get things to shake down when the announcement officially came through. And it was thanks in large part to an old rule that only applies to the Cubs and Red Sox at Wrigley Field and Fenway Park that kind of allowed them to take preferential treatment right there on these day-night splits, guys.
Well, ideally, I don't think anybody wants to play a day-night doubleheader, Jerry. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Especially in the situation where the Rays are with their bullpen coming into this series.
I think that's the biggest thing, you know, with the Rays. Where the Rays are concerned, they got injuries to their starting rotation, which has affected their bullpen. And, you know, they obviously would have preferred to play this probably at a later date.
Middlebrooks with a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
As you were going over your dinner menu, we'd like to thank the EMC Club for sending up some very nice lobster sandwiches here during the ball game, and also a menu for dinner.
Looking ahead for tonight's dinner, we thank them very much. We're just going over our options. I think I'm leaning towards the veal chop. You?
I haven't had a chance to look at it. You've been.
It's not enough for everyone.
No. Why is this callous?
They have a nice veal chop. They also have a filet. As Middlebrooks strikes out, that's 5 Ks now for Ramos, 2 down in the inning. Yes, we thank them very much for the lobster rolls as well. That'll be consumed in between innings.
Very good.
They have a fish of the day also, Jerry, you may want to think about. You're coming off.
I don't know what, you know. I'm a little
intestinal turmoil that you just went through in the last 24 hours. So a lot of options that we have to choose in between games. Thanks to the EMC Club. They do have a shellfish platter for 2 that we could share if you're interested.
A shellfish?
Yes, platter for 2.
I used to
shrimp cocktail.
Not crazy about it.
Oysters, clams.
You get that for yourself.
This will bounce into Ross, and it's even at 1-1. Tap foul off the end of the bat, 1-2. David Ross batting now. Jackie Bradley waiting on deck. 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Red Sox trailing by a run. Just inside. Ramos thought he had him, but it's 2-2.
Yeah, Ramos busting that fastball inside to Ross. Thought he had the inside corner, but just barely missed it. I can tell you the lobster is very, very good.
You've already got into it in between, during the inning, right? Or did you get in between the innings?
Between innings, yes.
Framed again by Molina. Another close pitch.
Yeah, another breaking ball that time that Ramos wanted. So that's a couple of them back to back.
Jim Hickey thought they were strikes looking in at C.B. Bucknor. And a swing and a miss. Ross ends up striking out. Ramos strikes out the side. 6-all. 2-1 Tampa Bay. Supplies products across 13 disciplines for buildings, factories, and homes across the Northeast. Wow, bet you didn't know FWWeb did that. More on this proud Boston Red Sox sponsor at FWWeb.com. Let's on to the top half of the fifth inning. Tampa Bay on top 2-1. And Jose Molina leading it off. He flied to right field in the third inning, 0 for 1. He threw 35 pitches in the first three innings, threw 35 pitches in the fourth inning alone. Ended up walking 3 and allowing the go-ahead run on a bases-loaded walk to David DeJesus. 1-1 is in there for strike 2. Lena Zobrist and Jennings expected here. And a swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Got him on the slider, and that is 3 strikeouts now for Jake Peavy.
Last time out for Peavy, had 7 strikeouts in that game against Toronto. That breaking ball down and away from Molina for the strikeout. Second time he's got Molina today, once on a fly ball to right field, and this time the strikeout.
1 down in the fifth inning, and Ben Zobrist, the batter, he's 0 for 2 as he takes strike 1. Zobrist has put the ball in the air twice in this game, flying out to the warning track in the first inning in center and flying out to right in the third. Pop-up foul off to the left. Well, tonight the Bruins continue their quest for the Cup as they begin what is sure to be an epic series against the Montreal Canadiens at the TD Garden. NESN is your official home for the 1-hour pre- and post-game coverage with unlimited highlights, interviews, and analysis. Begins all tonight on NESN Plus at 6:30. Outside for ball 1, 1-2 to Zobrist. Desmond Jennings waiting on deck with one away here in the fifth. Zobrist strikes out looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Peavy. 4-all, 2 down.
Yeah, Peavy back to the slider again. He gets the right-handed Molina on a slider. Now Zobrist the left-hander on a slider. Maybe a little bit of a generous call there, but certainly close enough for 2 strikes.
Mika Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. Desmond Jennings takes a ball that is just off the outside corner. There's a strike, 1-1. Jennings has grounded out to third base, doubled and scored. He has one of only 2 hits given up by Jake Peavy so far today. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Full count now, 3-2. Jennings bats now. Joyce on deck. There are 2 outs here in the fifth. To right field, sinking fast. Victorino on the move. Will get there to make the catch as he runs onto the track to end the inning. Rays have a 2-1 lead. We'll see Bradley, Pedroia, and Victorino coming up. Manufactured toner cartridges when it matters. Order the real thing. Original HB cartridges that deliver unmatched quality. From WB Mason, an HP preferred partner. Nobody beats WB on HP. Who but WB Mason? Leading it off, Jackie Bradley Jr. takes a pitch for a strike over the outside corner. They fly out to left field in the second inning, 0 for 1. They'll drop in there for strike 2.
It's one of the few curveballs that Ramos has featured today. Basically, fastball, slider, change.
Now, since the first inning, he has been very sharp. A tough first inning. He had to throw 35 first inning pitches, walked 3 in that inning, but gave up just the 1 run. But since then has been terrific. He has wrapped up 6 strikeouts in this game and struck out the side in the 4th inning. On the ground, Ramos behind the back picks it and flips to first. Nice play. Kind of flung it out there, ended up in the glove.
Well, that's kind of a Bill Lee play, isn't it? Where you kind of throw the glove behind your back and make the play. Bill Lee, of course, in the Legends Suite today, he used to do that quite often. And Ramos does the same thing. Right behind the back.
Well, David Price liked it. Nice play by Ramos. First out here in the 5th inning. Oh, as that ball ends up in center field for Bradley Jr., but first out here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, Pedroia will take ball 1.
I must say those sandwiches were very, very good.
Fabulous. Really, really good. Consider myself to be a lobster roll connoisseur, and that was top notch.
Yeah, you killed it.
The 1-0 is outside, 2-0. You only have about 90 seconds to get it done, so you got to do it quickly, Jerry.
Now look at the thing hanging from your mouth.
Oh, wow. I assure you it all went in. Pitches a strike over the outside corner. It's kind of gross.
When you attack a lobster roll, you attack a lobster roll.
I'm all in. 2-1 is on the ground. Ramos can't pick this, but it shoots out to Zobrist, who throws out Pedroia at first base. 2 down in the inning. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation, which helps children battling cancer, students trying to afford college, soldiers returning from war, kids playing in Little Leagues and RBI programs, and families in need of holistic, comprehensive health care. This is the work of the Red Sox Foundation. 2 down here in the 5th, 6 in a row, retired by Ramos. And it brings up Shane Victorino, 0 for 2. Shane struck out in the 1st inning, grounded out to 3rd base in the 3rd inning. In the dirt for ball 2. Almost making his 4th start of the year and 85 pitches deep right now into this 4th start of the season. 4 2/3. Does have action behind him as Brandon Gomes, a right-hander, up. Outside for ball 3. David Ortiz on deck with 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. In there for a strike, 3-1. Red Sox have put together one hit. Johnny Gomes with an RBI single back in the first inning, and that's been it against Ramos. Now Victorino works the walk, a 2-out walk, and the 5th walk given up by Ramos. Now, Foxwoods Resort Casino is the official resort casino and proud partner of the Boston Red Sox.
Now, the first 2 starts that Ramos has made, he's made 53 pitches, 65 pitches. Now he's up around 88 pitches in this game, and maybe getting to the danger zone for him.
Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, out to talk to Ramos. He had retired 6 batters in a row prior to the walk of Shane Victorino. Let's time out for the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag #NESSON_FANPHOTO for a chance to be shown in our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. And today's photo is from A.J. Hazel. It says, Eva at Fenway South with the greatest hitter of all time. Kind of a neat picture there. Two down, Victorino at first base, and David Ortiz climbing in the box. David has struck out and fly to center. He's 0 for 2. Another shift on the right side of the Rays with Zobrist ducked back into right. Actually, it's Longoria on the right side as well here for Tampa Bay. And trying to come in on Ortiz. Ends up away instead for ball 1. Two and 0. David 1 for 7 so far in the series here against Tampa Bay. And he'll take the strike. 2-1 as they stay away again.
Yeah, no fastball for David on the 2-0 count. Gets the slider.
Fouled back. Try to jump on that fastball, but fouls it back.
Got a pretty good pitch to handle, too. David a little upset with not making contact on that one, at least fair contact. Fastball middle in. Fouls it straight back.
Almost trying to get through the 5th inning here. He's at 92 pitches. He goes off the backside of the hill in the midst of a meeting with himself. Two-two pitch to Big Papi. And then he fouls it back, staying alive. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the 5th. Inside this time, straightens up Big Papi, full count.
Now see on 3-2 count if he goes back to the slider. Looks like he is.
Now Ramos backs off. Trying to figure out what they want to do with Loney. He was playing in front of Victorino at first base, now kind of standing behind him. Payoff pitch to Big Papi. And Ortiz takes ball 4. 7-pitch at bat, and he takes the walk. Back-to-back walks for Ramos. 6 walks now in his outing. And Joe Maddon's making his way out, so Ramos will not get through the 5th inning. He walks back-to-back batters after he gets the first 2 outs of the inning, and Ramos frustrated as his outing comes to an end. Gomes been warming in the pen for the Rays. He'll be coming on. It's 2-1 Tampa Bay. So before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deacon is human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. They're having a good time today. Cesar Ramos not having as much fun as he leaves this game with the lead, but eligible for the victory as he does not get through the 5th inning as he walked back-to-back batters with 2 down. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers. Brandon Gomes into the game here for the Rays. 13th appearance, 1-1 with a 3.75 earned run average. 11 strikeouts to 6 walks, and opponents hitting at .205 against Gomes. He took the loss on Tuesday here at Fenway Park. Gave up back-to-back walks in the 6th inning in his outing in the first game of the series. Both came around to score after he was replaced, as Napoli takes strike 1 over the outside corner. Napoli had 2 of the 6 walks given up today by Cesar Ramos. Victorino at second base, Ortiz at first with 2 down. Ball and away, ball and a strike.
Back-to-back cutters from Gomes. The first 2 pitches to Napoli.
In his career, he's held right-handers to a 185 average. Lefties, however, have hit at 320 against Gomes. But in here to face Napoli. And a pop-up. Playable, it appears, for Molina. Rays catcher makes the catch that ends the inning. Red Sox strand a pair. We'll check out the list when we come back to Fenway. The Oakland A's, of course, will begin here tomorrow night, and apparently the A's off today. They played in Texas last night's game, so Josh enjoying the game today. It's a very good season so far for the Athletics, and so are the A's for that matter.
Yeah, they are pitching and they are hitting.
Here's Matt Joyce leading it off and taking ball one. Joyce 0 for 2. He's grounded out to third and to second base. Strike over the outside corner, 1-1. Jake Peavy back on the hill. And a 1-2-3 fifth inning. After having some trouble in the fourth inning, walked 3 batters, including walking in the go-ahead run. This one fouled off. He's only allowed 2 hits. In fact, there are only 3 hits in this game entirely. 2 for Tampa Bay, 1 for Boston. Joyce grounds that foul. Well, if you have a young Red Sox fan at home, you'll want to log on and visit NESSONClubhouse.com, our new site designed for the younger fans who like the NESSON Clubhouse show and want to learn more about jobs at Fenway, fitness, baseball skills from the pros, and fun facts about Fenway Park, plus trivia games and word searches. A lot of young fans on hand here today. Day baseball from Fenway Park, game 1 of the day-night doubleheader. Joyce grounds it foul down towards the tarp area. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to Matt Joyce. There's a happy youngster, speaking of youngsters.
And we just had a shot of that kid, didn't we? With his glove ready to go.
Ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Matt Joyce. 4th walk given up by Peavy in his outing. And comes Evan Longoria, part of the top all-time Rays list. Has to be. Let us know your thoughts at #NESSONList. Longoria actually just surpassed Carlos Pena in the most home runs category in Rays history. In there for strike 1 to Longoria. His all-time home run leader now with 165 home runs. Past Carlos Pena back on April 18th against New York. On the ground and through into left field, a base hit. Well placed between Bogaerts and Middlebrooks. And the first 2 Rays have reached here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Well, Longoria, who has struck out twice today on breaking balls, gets a changeup that time, it looks like, from Peavy, and finds that hole between third and short for the base hit. So the Rays, first and second, nobody out here in the 6th inning, and holding on to that 2-1 lead.
Monty Evis on the phone. The bullpen's going to get busy for the first time today. A walk and a base hit takes us to James Loney here in the 6th inning. Loney hits one towards second base. Could be 2. Pedroia to second for 1. On to first for 2. On to third goes Matt Joyce, but a double play there. Big one turned by the Red Sox.
Yeah, nice start to it, too, by Dustin Pedroia. That ball hit very well by Loney. And Pedroia going to his right down to his knee to make this play. Underhand flip to Bogaerts in a beautiful spot up around Letta High. And Bogaerts does the rest by turning it over and getting out of the way of Longoria.
Two down, Joyce at third base, and Will Myers the batter. Myers has grounded out to short and walked. The action in the Red Sox pen is Chris Capuano. Off the end of the bat foul, and that one will go over towards the Red Sox dugout.
Getting a little brighter here at Fenway this afternoon. It seems to be improving as that fog starting to lift a little bit.
Sun trying to poke its way through here today. Lights have been on since the beginning of this game at Fenway Park. And we're starting to be able to see the Brew again. Matt Joyce at third base with his walking lead with 2 down here in the 6th inning. Rays trying to add on to their 1-run lead here in the 6th inning. Myers pops it up. From third comes Middlebrooks on to the infield grass to make the catch. It ends the inning, and Peavy gets out of the jam. 5.5 done, 2-1 Tampa Bay. After the game, TC and Steve Lyons will break down Jake Peavy's outing today. They'll also get sound from John Farrell's post-game presser. Can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason. Day-night doubleheader here from Fenway Park. Tampa Bay with a 2-1 advantage over the Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Johnny Gomes, Xander Bogaerts, and Will Middlebrooks to bat in the inning. Gomes singled to center field in the first inning to drive in the Red Sox only run, and then he flied out to the warning track in center field in the third. He is 1 for 2 today. Pitch for a strike over the outside corner. Brandon Gomes back on the mound here for the Rays to get the final out of the 5th inning after Ramos had walked back-to-back batters. They got Napoli to foul out to Molina to end the inning. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Split finger fastball that time from Gomes. Fastball, cut, fastball, splitter.
Popped up into shallow right. Zobrist ducks back a few strides on the outfield grass and makes a catch for the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning. Now, baseball is back in season, so gather 20 or more of your friends, family, and coworkers for a group outing at Fenway and secure exclusive access to seats. Call 877-RED SOX 9 or visit redsox.com/groups for more information. One out here in the 6th inning brings up Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts drives one out towards deep right center field. Jennings has got a beat on it. Onto the warning track to make the catch in front of the bullpen. Well, Jennings under control the entire time as he moved back to make the grab. 2 down. Comes Will Middlebrooks. Gets to know Will a little bit. Favorite movie for love of the game. Likes to go to San Francisco. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Italian food, his favorite food, is Will bats for the 3rd time today. He's fly to right and struck out swinging. Into right field, opposite field, base hit for Will Middlebrooks. Just the 2nd Boston hit of the day and their 1st hit since the 1st inning.
Yeah, way back in the 1st inning when Johnny Gomes had a base hit to drive in a run. Middlebrooks' first pitch swinging, that time on a cut fastball, and inside outs it to the opposite field for the base hit. So the Red Sox will try to get something done with 2 outs.
We're going to have a pinch hitter here for David Ross. A.J. Pierzynski comes out of the dugout. Ross had been 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So that is the day for David Ross. This will be the first time that A.J. Pierzynski has faced Brandon Gomes. Hits a .274, 2 homers, and 13 runs batted in.
One for 2 this year as a pinch hitter.
Outside for ball 1. Last 4 games, Pierzynski hitting at .400. He was 2 for 4 on Tuesday night, first game of the series. Line to right field, and that's going to get in for a base hit in front of Myers. Middlebrooks slips around second base and gets back to the bag. Tried to throw the brakes on him, went down. Then he gets back up and gets back to second. Base hit, pinch hit for A.J. Pierzynski.
And it pays off as Pierzynski picks up the base hit. Another cut fastball, winds it in front of Will Myers. Middlebrooks was thinking about third base, but then slipped. You'll see around second. Takes a look at the third base coach, slips and gets back. Right decision there by Middlebrooks in scoring position with 2 outs.
Jackie Bradley Jr. 0 for 2 today from the number 9 spot in the Red Sox order. As he takes ball 1 down and in. Bradley, who had 2 hits and 2 RBIs in game 1 of the series, 0 for 2 today. Fouls it off and evens it in 1-1. Now, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards their $25,000 donation once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Jake McGee, the left-hander, up in the pen for the Rays. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Mentioned lefties hitting at .320 against Brandon Gomes. Joe Maddon sticking with him here against Jackie Bradley Jr. Two balls, two strikes. And now headed out is Molina. Gomes got two quick outs and getting Johnny Gomes to pop out. Xander Bogaerts to fly out, but Middlebrooks with a 2-out base hit, a pinch hit single for A.J. Pierzynski. So first and second, two down. And Jackie Bradley Jr. with a count of 2-2. Fouled off Molina, and it's still 2-2.
Back to the cut fastball that time by Gomes, and just barely fouled off by Bradley. That's a piece of Benji Molina's foot. Or Jose Molina, excuse me.
On the ground, softly right side. Zobrist has got a charge, fires to first for the out. That ends the inning. Red Sox strand two more. It's 2-1 Tampa Bay through 6. Tickets, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. He's walked 4, struck out 4, 99 pitches deep into his outing. There's Capuano still up here to begin the inning as Peavy begins the inning, and of course has a new battery made after A.J. Pierzynski pinch hit for David Ross and single. Now, David DeJesus has had a good game today so far for the Rays. He homered in the 3rd inning. Walked with the bases loaded. He has supplied both of their runs. RBI 7 and 8 on the year for DeJesus, who leads it off here in the top half of the 7th inning. Takes strike one. This is his home run back in the 3rd inning. 2nd home run of the year, right down the right field line. That tied the game. Red Sox had scored on an RBI single back in the 1st inning by Johnny Gomes. This is down and in, and it's a ball and a strike. Most pitches Peavy has thrown in a game so far this year, 113. Did that last time out at Toronto. Pitch 102 is fouled off, 1-2. Two and two. The Jesus, Escobar, and then Jose Molina expected to bat at 7, 8, and 9. 2-2 is down and in. Line foul down by the tarp area again. Now, if you're a Red Sox fan, and you'll surely want to follow Nesson on Instagram, our photographers and on-air talent offer unique ways to see all the happenings behind the scenes of your favorite teams. Follow Nesson on Instagram now and let all things Red Sox, Bruins, and Nesson come to you. On the ground by the mound towards second, Pedroia fires to first for out number 1 of the inning. De Jesus retired for the first time today. Capuano has now been joined by Tazawa in the pen for Boston. They just did get Tazawa up.
Now, Peavy has been another strong performance with the exception of that 4th inning where he had the 3 straight walks, and one of those to walk in a run. Of course, the other run coming with the home run by De Jesus, but overall, it's been a very good outing for Jake Peavy. Ran in a little stretch of wildness back in the 4th that cost him a run.
Falls behind 2-0. Check swing foul by Escobar. Foul off to the right, out of play. Escobar is grounded out to third base and flied out to center, 0 for 2. Two and two.
Fastball that time at about 90, elevated, about let a high to Escobar.
And try it again. And it's foul down the right field line, out of play. Peavy only giving up 3 hits in 6 1/3 innings. Home run, a double, and a single allowed by Peavy. Peavy has walked 4, struck out 4. Payoff pitch. Escobar will take a 1-out walk, and that is the 5th walk given up by Peavy. And that'll be the day for Jake Peavy as John Farrell comes out of the dugout. So Peavy with another good outing, 6 1/3 deep into his outing, and that'll do it for him as he walks his 5th batter and will leave this game trailing 2-1. WB Mason's wide selection of Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup packs will keep you running and guarantees to satisfy any fan base. Order by 11:30 a.m. and get free same-day delivery. Who but WB Mason? Now Jake Peavy done after 6 1/3 innings. Responsible for Yunel Escobar at first base. So the book not closed on Peavy, but through 113 pitches in this outing. The pitcher on for the Red Sox, Chris Capuano, into his 12th game of the year, has not given up a run in 14 1/3 innings. 15 strikeouts to only 2 walks. And opponents hitting at 157 against Capuano. He's been terrific out of the Red Sox bullpen this season. Jose Molina batting for the 3rd time today. As he checks on Escobar, does Capuano at first base.
Escobar yet to have a steal on the season. Molina's the kind of guy that'll play hit and run with too at times. They put that play on Molina. He just tried to hit a ground ball to the right side of the infield.
Capuano at 21 innings, scoreless innings. Pitch outside, and the count is 2-0. Capuano, of course, done a lot of starting in his career, but in 40 relief appearances, at 2.63 earned run average out of the pen. Inside for ball 3, 3-0. He inherits the runner left at first base by Jake Peavy. A 1-out walk to Yunel Escobar. Taking all the way is Molina, and Capuano walks the first batter he faces, the number 9 man. And Jose Molina, that is now 6 walks allowed by Red Sox pitching today. A lot of walks in this game. The Rays starter Cesar Ramos walked 6 batters himself.
Now you would think with all the walks in the ball game, you'd have more than a 2-1 score in this game right now.
A chance here for Ben Zobrist, 0 for 3 in the game. They'll take strike 1. Zobrist has flied out to the warning track in center field, flied out to right, and struck out looking. 0 for 3. Fouled off to the right, out of play. 14th game of the first 28 of the year for the Rays that he has led off for Tampa Bay. Zobrist was 0 for 5 in the first game of the series, and now 0 for 8 so far in the series. On the ground towards short, could be 2. Bogarts to second for 1. On to first, it is 2. Nicely done. Capuano able to induce the double play that ends the inning. Pedroia, Victorino, and Ortiz coming up.
It's going to amount to a 15 and 16-hour day for players and staff, and even us, all of us here doing the 1 and 2 games. And the manager's pretty understanding about that. Specifically, Rays manager Joe Maddon, he shared a little anecdote with us with his time back in the 90s and the Angels. He said his player Dave Parker went to actually eat lunch between games in his full uniform, his full game outfit, and he doesn't have any problem with it. He said today if his players want to decide to go out and grab a bite to eat in their uniforms, he'd be totally cool with it, but I don't think how Will Myers might be received if he went to Chipotle for a burrito, guys.
Well, I certainly have some time in between games, generally, in a day-night doubleheader type scenario to grab a bite to eat, but in uniform would be pretty unusual.
Well, back in the old days, and I mean the old days, when they had day-night doubleheaders here at Fenway Park, both teams used to come up to the press room and have a meal presented to them from the press room. And before this portion of the ballpark was put on, the press room was a level below us, and you go up there and have something to eat between games.
It's on here to the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher on for the Rays, their third of the day. Jake McGee comes in. 13th appearance, 1-0. The 2.38 earned run average. 11 1/3 innings. Got 11 Ks, 3 walks, and opponents hitting at just 179 against McGee. Last pitched on Monday at Chicago, beginning of this 3-city tour for Tampa Bay. It started against Chicago, here in Boston, and tonight after the night portion of the day-night doubleheader, they'll be headed to New York to get ready for a weekend series against the Yankees. Dustin Pedroia leads it off and takes strike one. McGee's average fastball velocity this season has been 96 miles an hour.
Yeah, that first pitch was at 94.
Fouled off to the right, out of play.
There's your average of 96.
He jumps ahead here, 0-2. Over his career, right-handers have hit just 193 against him. Lefties have actually hit better at 228. Likely facing that left-hander in this inning. The 0-2. Line and off the glove of Escobar into left field. Tried to time the leap, but it glances off his glove, and Pedroia is aboard to begin the 7th. It's time for a Toyota game break in Tom Karen. TC. All right, Tom, thanks very much. Let's get an Xfinity game summary, and it has been Tampa Bay on top here 2-1 in this game. Cesar Ramos will not be part of the decision, but he pitched pretty well with the exception of the 6 walks, but he gave up just 1 hit in 4 2/3 innings. Jake Peavy with 6 1/3. Here is Victorino fouling it off to the right, out of play. Bats with Pedroia at first. Nobody out here in the 7th inning. Action for the Red Sox, former Tampa Bay right-hander Burke Badenhop.
Throw to first base.
Leadoff single by Dustin Pedroia. 4th hit of the day for Boston. Red Sox are now actually out hitting Tampa Bay 4-3 in the game. Victorino fouls off another. That one at 97 miles an hour. I want to remind you to stay tuned today following WB Extra Innings for a Red Sox final presented by Esurance. TC and Steve Lyons will have player reaction from this first game and get you ready for game 2 tonight with Felix Doubront on the mound. Strike 3 call. Victorino knew it. Takes with him the first strikeout for Jake McGee. 1 down.
And no argument there from Victorino. A fastball right down the middle for strike 3. And again, 95, 96 miles an hour that time with the fastball.
One out, one on. And David Ortiz, the batter. He has struck out, flied out, and walked. Rays not shifting here. They keep the double play in order on the right side. As Ortiz takes ball 1. Rays have had a tough time on the road. They have lost 7 of the last 8 games away from Tropicana Field. And coming in 4-9 overall on the road. Ortiz hits into the air out to left field. Back goes Joyce and Jennings. It is up and it is off the wall. Pedroia from first base going to try to come around and score. Throw from Escobar to the plate is going to be close, and he is out at the plate. Brian Butterfield argues as he runs right to home plate and points. John Farrell will come out, and we'll see if the Red Sox will challenge here as Pedroia thrown out at the plate trying to score from first.
Well, that was an excellent read by Pedroia, knowing it was going to be high off the wall. He takes off. Now let's look at home plate. Is he in before the tag? I believe he is. Looks like the foot got in and then the tag. And they're going to replay this. My question on that replay is, did Pedroia's foot get the plate? Let's take another look.
I'm not sure it did.
I'm not sure it did either. That's going to be a tough call. That's going to be a tough replay call.
Now remember, they got to see conclusive evidence to turn this over because it is a change of a call.
That time we're blocked by the umpire on it. Let's take a look at this angle. Now the glove's got us blocked.
Hard to tell there, especially with the dirt being kicked up.
Yeah, that is really tough. I mean, if his foot got part of the plate, then he's definitely safe. The question is, did it?
And can they see a better view than we can?
Right.
They do have other options here for a viewing standpoint, and we'll see if they got a better look than what we had. Crowd reacting to what they're seeing here being played in center field.
Take a look at one more angle, see if we can see it. Ooh. If it did, it got the back of home plate, the very back of it.
Well, Pedroia certainly thought he did get it.
So did Butterfield, the third base coach. He came down immediately also.
They have come to a decision, and he is still out. And Butterfield is going to get tossed from this game. He is fired up and in the face of the umpires in the third base coach's box. John Farrell back out again, which he technically cannot be, but his third base coach has just been tossed.
The hard part about that replay, Don, to me, was seeing whether Pedroia's foot got the plate or not.
No question about it. I think because the dirt kicked up on the slide, too, it's tough to tell because you can't see the edge of the plate.
Exactly. And by the way, it's the first base umpire making the call, not C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire. He was covering another base. And
No matter how many times we look at it, it is very difficult to tell if he gets the plate or not.
So Basner makes the call, and hearing it from the Red Sox dugout, he is still looking in there. Still some barking coming from the dugout as he peers in. 2 down, Pedroia retired at the plate, and David Ortiz is at second base here. Arnie Baylor must have gotten tossed too, because here comes Victor Rodriguez. Actually, Arnie is over at third base. So Baylor now at third base in place of Brian Butterfield, and Victor Rodriguez, the first base coach, coming out.
Well, that's one you got to put under the umbrella of inconclusive, right?
No question.
Tough call.
Not enough to overturn it. Napoli fouls it off, gets a piece of Molina. Potential tying run in scoring position at second in Ortiz. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 97 and by him. 1-2.
And that ball didn't miss being a home run by very much by David Ortiz.
Two and two. Swing and a miss, and Napoli strikes out on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball to end the inning. Through 7, it is 2-1 Tampa Bay. Playoff tickets to games 1 and 2 at the TD Garden against the Canadiens tonight and Saturday. Visit aceticket.com or call 1-800-NICE-SEATS right now to get your tickets to watch the Bruins take on the Canadiens at TD Garden. Don't miss out. We head to the top half of the 8th inning. Still Tampa Bay holding on to a 2-1 advantage. The pitcher on for the Red Sox. Their third of the game as Bert Badenhop comes in. His 11th appearance, 0-2 with a 3.86 earned run average. 8 strikeouts to 6 walks. 19 hits and 16 and a third, and opponent sitting at 311 against the former Tampa Bay Ray, right-hander in. Takes over for Capuano, who ended up going 2/3 of an inning. No hits. This one fouled off by Desmond Jennings to begin the 8th. Jennings doubled back in the 4th inning, a 1-for-3 day. Jake Peavy on the hook right now for Boston. Went 6 1/3 in this game today. 3 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts for Peavy. The strike, and it's 1-2 now to Jennings. Two and two. Action for the Rays in the pen. Joel Peralta up in the pen for Tampa Bay. On the outside corner for strike 3. Jennings didn't think so. Badenhop gets him for the first out of the 8th.
That looked like a pretty good pitch by Badenhop here as he goes away. 5th pitch of the at-bat, and it does nick the outside corner. Again, with 2 strikes, that's a ball you've got to be swinging at. Too close to take.
One down here in the 8th inning. Matt Joyce, the batter, 0-for-2 with a walk. Andrew Miller up for the Red Sox in the pen. Already seen Capuano and Badenhop as this one fouled off to the left by Joyce. I'll remind you to tune in tonight at 11 p.m. to NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Ellen Sarah bring you the breakdown of the Bruins Habs Game 1 tonight. Doubleheader recap from Fenway. See what know-how can do. On the ground, foul down by the tarp.
You know, one thing that was overshadowed in that play at the plate was the fine relay that the Tampa Bay Rays made on that play to get Pedroia at home plate. They executed it perfectly with a good strong throw from Escobar, the shortstop.
Outside, and it's 2-2.
Take a look at that relay one more time as you can see him playing off the wall. Now watch Escobar, the shortstop, get in position to make the throw. It's a little bit up the first base side, but man, was that close at home. And no matter how many times you look at it, you just can't tell if Pedroia had any part of his foot on that bag.
And that's the key thing, too, is I think there's not enough there to turn it over, and that's what they have to do once they've made the call.
Yeah, on the plate, I should say, not the bag, but you're correct on.
And it was Toby Basner, the first base umpire, down there to make the call. You know, if they had gone the other way and said he was safe, and then Joe Madden argued, you may not be able to find anything conclusive to go that way.
I agree. I totally agree.
It's just what the original ruling is. Now 2 down here in the 8th. Evan Longoria 1-for-3. He struck out twice and singled in this game. Strike 2. Badenhop's coming in throwing strikes. strike 3 call. Longoria struck out for the 3rd time today. Johnny Gomes will lead it off, and we come back to Fenway. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. Grind's Coffee Pouches. The new Scion TC. And by Southwest Airlines. Well, it has been an overcast day in Boston so far, and the Red Sox trail by a run as they come to bat. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning against the new Rays pitcher, Joel Peralta comes in. His 11th appearance, 1-1 with a 2.79 earned run average. 9 strikeouts to 3 walks, and opponents hitting at 200 against Peralta. Johnny Gomes, the former Tampa Bay Ray, leading it off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Knocked in the Red Sox only run with an RBI single back in the 1st inning. Since then, he has flied out and popped out. Outside for ball 1. Comes with good numbers against Peralta, including 3 home runs in 11 at-bats. Red Sox closer up in the pen, Koji Uehara. That's a strike call, and it's 1-1. Gomes didn't think so. Thought about it, did not offer, and it's 2-1. Also the 4th arm used by Joe Madden today, Cesar Ramos. 4 2/3 giving up the run the Red Sox have. Brandon Gomes for an inning and a third. Jake McGee win an inning. Both relievers scoreless, and now Joel Peralta into this game here in the 8th. In there for strike 2. Also worked here in game 1 of the series, went an inning, giving up 3 hits and a run. It's a season high in hits allowed for him in any appearance. Gomes fouls it off to the left, out of play. Rounded foul just above the Rays dugout. Well, the Nesson download schedule helped our new friend Steve Lyons get on track for the season. It can help you too. Visit NESSON.com/schedule to import the 2014 Red Sox schedule into your desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. Gomes hits it in the air to center field. Jennings is there, and he makes the catch in front of the track for the first out of the 8th inning.
Well, Johnny Gomes didn't see many fastballs in that at bat. When he did see one, he hit it hard, but right at Jennings out in center field. A little bit up and in that time to Gomes. Tied him up a little bit, and you can see Jennings going back in his track about 5 steps and making the catch.
One down for Xander Bogaerts, who has walked, struck out, and flied out. Broughton out his 4th season with Tampa Bay, 38-year-old veteran. Last year led the majors with a career-high 80 appearances. Foul back, and it's 1-2. Joined the Rays in 2011 and has made now 238 relief appearances. Right, second in the majors during that time, too shy of the leader Matt Belisle, 239 appearances since 2011. Looks with one out here in the 8th inning and ahead of Bogaerts, 1-2. Popped up, foul ground, that'll get out of play. Red Sox with double-barreled action in the pen now. Uehara, who has been up. Andrew Miller has joined him. If the Red Sox can't tie it up or get the lead, we'll see Uehara. If not, Miller likely will go in the 9th inning for the Red Sox against Loney, Myers, and DeJesus, scheduled to bat in the top of the 9th. Outside, 2-2 to Bogaerts. Red Sox have left 9 men on base through the first 7 innings. They're out hitting the Rays in this game 5-3, but trailed 2-1. Bogaerts takes a very close pitch for ball 3.
Yeah, there's been about 2 or 3 that Peralta has wanted, has not gotten from C.B. Buckner, and that's the latest.
Right here, Xander! Focus in like a laser beam! Let's go! Let's go!
Bogaerts takes a look at ball 4 and heads down to first base. Tying run on base here for Boston.
Tries the breaking ball again, but this time too high and inside. The Red Sox get the potential tying run to first base. Peralta wanted that one also.
Get after him, Bill!
1 out, 1 on. Will Middlebrooks, the batter. Will has one of the 5 Red Sox hits on the day as he singled to right field in the 6th inning. He's infield a double play depth with 1 out and Bogaerts at first base. There's strike 1. Look out. Middlebrooks late to react to that. And was able to get out of the way at the last second. 1-1.
Hey, it wouldn't if he lost that ball for a second, because that was a very late reaction by Middlebrooks. Up around the chin area.
In the dirt. Molina couldn't find it right away, but Bogaerts remains at first base. Never got all that far away from him, even though he couldn't find it initially.
Just a little bit behind Molina, and if you're not sure, you can't go. And he might have even blocked the baseball a little bit from Xander Bogaerts, so he wasn't quite sure where it was.
Peralta falling behind here 2-1. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, coming out. Well, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU Digital Federal Credit Union, tonight at 6:30. Get you a preview of Felix Dubron, who takes them out tonight in Game 2 of the day-night doubleheader. Also, check in with the Clubhouse Insider. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? 1 out, Xander Bogaerts at first. Will Middlebrooks hitting his 4th at bat of the day, 1 for 3, single to right field, and his last at bat in the 6th inning. Middlebrooks pops it up. On the third base line, Evan Longoria steps into foul ground and makes the catch for the 2nd out of the 8th. Two down now for A.J. Pierzynski coming up. Pierzynski pitch hit in the 6th inning for David Ross and single to right field for a base hit. Brzezinski has never had much success against Peralta. 1 for 13 against Peralta in his career. 0.77. And he grounds one down the first baseline, foul. Jackie Bradley Jr. on deck. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. First and back to the bag is Bogaerts. Gomes flied out to center field to begin the inning. Bogaerts walked. Middlebrooks fouled out. So 2 down. Bogaerts at first. Red Sox trailing by a run. Off the end of the bat, foul, and it's 0-2.
Now, so far, Brzezinski has not seen a fastball, a breaking ball on the first pitch, split-fingered fastball on the second pitch, and very quickly down 0-2.
The 0-2 pitch. And Brzezinski fouls it off to the left out of play. Peralta wants a new baseball and gets one from his catcher. Red Sox got their lone run in this game way back in the first inning. An RBI single by Johnny Gomes. Well, he's getting single runs in the 3rd and 4th, and here we are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tampa Bay holding on to a 2-1 lead, tying run at first for Boston.
Fastball up and away.
And Brzezinski does not chase. 1-2.
That may be the only fastball he sees. Let's see what they go back to now. Back to the splitter.
AJ fouled the last one off. See what he does here. And this one he hits on the ground to second base. Zobrist has got it, and that's the inning. We're headed for the 9th inning with Tampa Bay on top 2-1. Live streaming sports service is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in a true HD on over 400 devices. Visit RedSox.com for details. Now it's on here to the 9th inning for the Red Sox, who trail 2-1 to the Tampa Bay Rays. And on for the Red Sox, their 4th arm of the day, Andrew Miller, into his 13th game of the season, 1-0 with a 2.70 earned run average, 11 strikeouts to 4 walks. And opponents hitting at .216 against Andrew Miller. James Loney 0 for 2 with a walk today. Loney hitting one out to the warning track in the 2nd inning, but was retired. Walked in the 4th and bounced into a double play in the 6th inning. And he will take a look at strike 2. Miller comes on for Badenhop, who had a 1-2-3 8th inning with 2 strikeouts. Closer for the Rays up in the pen, Grant Balfour, returning to Tampa Bay once again after a successful tenure as the closer for the Oakland A's. 1-2, Loney thought about it. Did he go? No, says Dan Iasanya. Loney to short right, falling fast and in for a hit in between Pedroia and Victorino. Sounded like it was towards the end of the bat, and Loney is aboard to begin things in the 9th.
That's a very defensive swing by Loney. You get the big lefty out there throwing the breaking ball. He just kind of reaches out, makes contact, and drops it in between Pedroia and Victorino. Sometimes you take him any way you can get him, and that time Loney picks up the base hit.
Lead runner on here for the Rays as they seek to obtain some insurance here in the 9th inning. Will Myers 0 for 2, but he did get on with a walk in the 4th inning. So he takes strike 1. Strike 2. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, right about knee high, too, here from Andrew Miller.
Down and in, and smothered by Pierzynski as Loney remains at first base. Jake Peavy started this game for the Red Sox 6 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs. Walked 5, struck out 4, and currently on the hook. So he came into this game 1-0 on the year. This is flared to left, and Gomes coming in will get there to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Now, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Men's Warehouse. We'll get you a Game 1 recap and check in with the Major League Baseball notebook. It's tonight at 6, and it's on Nesson as we get ready for Game 2 of the day-night doubleheader from Fenway Park. Sean Rodriguez is going to pinch hit here for David DeJesus. With the left-hander Andrew Miller in the game. DeJesus supplying both runs today for Tampa Bay. DeJesus had homered in the 3rd and then walked with the bases loaded in the 4th inning. But Sean Rodriguez hits for him here in the 9th. .172 with 3 homers and 7 runs batted in for the very versatile Sean Rodriguez. Takes strike 1. Lots of clouds here today at Fenway Park, but sun darting in and out of the clouds now. Lights have been on here at Fenway since the beginning of the game. Strike two. Miller, the third arm to come out of the bullpen today for Boston. Saw Capuano for 2/3 of an inning. Badenhop an inning. Neither gave up a hit or a run. Miller has allowed a hit so far here in the ninth. And now Rodriguez fouls that back. Still 1-2. Game two, we'll have Chris Archer matched up against Felix Dubron. Archer 2-1, Dubron 1-3. A little closer look at the matchup. 5 starts for Archer on the year and a 4.11 ERA. Dubron getting his 6th start of the year tonight is 1-3 with a earned run average of 6.00. The 1-2 in there for strike 3. Rodriguez strikes out, 2 down.
Perfect location, and Rodriguez doesn't like it, but fastball to the outside part of the plate by Andrew Miller. Brzezinski set up right there, right into the mid, doesn't even have to move the mid. And kind of stuns Rodriguez.
Two down, Loney still at first base, and Yunel Escobar takes strike 1. Escobar is grounded out to third, flied out to center, and walked. On the ground towards short, Bogarts to his left. He'll flipped underhanded to Pedroia to end the inning. We'll see Dustin Pedroia coming up in the bottom of the ninth. The Red Sox challenged this play off the wall. David Ortiz with a double, but thrown out at the plate. Dustin Pedroia was the call on the field, and no conclusive replay that we could see that the umpires could use to overturn it. They could not find one to overturn it, and they did not. And kept the ruling on the field that he was out at the plate, tagged by Molina. And Dale Scott, crew chief, making the outside after the review. Xfinity brings us the game summary as we head into the bottom of the 9th inning. Jake Peavy pitched well here today, but he's on the hook right now. Ramos not pitched long enough to be eligible for a victory, but the Rays getting 2 runs, a single run in the 3rd, single run in the 4th, and that's been the difference in the game. Into the game is the Tampa Bay Rays closer, back with the Rays again. Second stint with Tampa Bay. The closer is 4 for 5 in save opportunities. This marks his 10th appearance. Opponent's hitting at just 171 against Grant Balfour. Jackie Bradley Jr. leading it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And taking ball 1. Bradley does not have a hit today. He's flied out and grounded out twice. There's a strike, 1-1. Balfour on Friday at Chicago blew his first save of the season. He allowed a career high 5 runs. Grand slam by Jose Abreu. First grand slam he allowed in his career as he runs that inside. His 4 saves came in 4 consecutive outings in the first 7 games of the year for Tampa Bay. 36 years of age. Of course, Array from 2009 through 2014. On the outside corner for strike 2.
Fastball at about 92 miles an hour, right to the corner. Jackie Bradley checking whether it was a call strike or a swing strike.
That is a called strike, and it's at 92 miles an hour. Bradley Jr. is out number 1 of the 9th.
Yeah, just about the exact same location with the fastball that time, right to the outside part of the plate. A perfect pitch by Balfour.
One down, Dustin Pedroia coming up. Walked in the first inning and scored. Since then, he's lined out, grounded out. And a single his last time up. Three for 8 in his career against Balfour. Spent the last 3 years with the Oakland A's. And the last 2 years as their closer in Oakland. Looked like he was going to go to Baltimore, but ends up with Tampa Bay. This is grounded down the third baseline, foul. Pedroia chops one left side and through into left field, a base hit. Tying run at first for Boston with 1 out in the 9th inning.
Now Dustin picks up his second hit of the day. Been on base 3 times from the leadoff spot, a walk and 2 singles. Top spin ground ball by Longoria in a left field for the base hit.
David Ortiz making his way out on deck. 1 out, 1 on. Shane Victorino, the batter. Victorino does not have a hit today. He struck out, grounded out, walked, and struck out again. Victorino jumping back out of the way. He is 0 for 1 in his career against Balfour. He's off the backside of the hill. Over the inside corner, Victorino didn't think so. A borderline call there, 1-1.
Victorino puts those arms up. He's right on top of the plate, and that ball very close to being on the corner. Call the strike by C.B. Buckner.
Back to the bag at first is Pedroia. Victorino drops the bunt down. Molina is out. His throw will be in time, but Pedroia gets into scoring position with 2 down. That was a pretty good play by Molina to get out there.
Yeah, very quick, too. You know, Molina doesn't have a lot of speed, but very quick to get to that bunt by Victorino. Right down that third base line. Not as hot as Victorino would have liked it. And look at Molina pounce out there, get on this ball, spin, and make the throw to first base.
So David Ortiz now with first base open. See what they do here as Joe Maddon goes out to talk it over.
Well, you almost never walk the winning run and put him on base, but you never know what Joe Maddon's going to do in this situation.
Let's see what Balfour wants to do. Is Balfour and Maddon going back and forth here on top of the hill? Well, David Ortiz is 2 for 8 in his career against Balfour. Mike Napoli 1 for 8 against Balfour in his career. See if they start off pitching to David Ortiz and see where the count is. There are the numbers against Balfour for Ortiz. Zobrist in short right field, the second baseman ducking back. Tying run at second base. Winning run at the plate here in David Ortiz. And there is strike one.
Now slide it to the outside part of the plate to start off Ortiz.
Roy singled to begin here in the 9th inning, but he's now at second base with 2 down. Ortiz lines it foul and is down 0-2. Out ahead of that.
Yeah, coming right after David, aren't they? Slide it away, then a fastball middle in.
Time call. Molina's going to give some more signs. Last walk-off home run for the Red Sox, July 21st of last year. Mike Napoli did it against the Yankees. Ortiz would love to do it right here. On the ground as Balfour will flip to first for the out. That ends the ball game. David Ortiz grounds out, and the Rays take game 1 of the day-night doubleheader as they hold on to win this one 2-1 here this afternoon. And a frustrating defeat for the Red Sox. They had the tying run at scoring position and some other opportunities throughout this day as the Red Sox end up stranding 11 men on base in the 9 innings on a day when the starter for the Rays walked 6 batters, but the Red Sox only get to him for 1 run. And again, that 1 run for the Red Sox came back in the first inning to begin this game, and they could not score since. So 2-1 is the final. Tampa Bay wins game 1 of the day-night doubleheader as we send it to Tom Caron. TC?